Hi guys, so we were looking for a starter army for anybody who fancied kicking off with some Chaos and Chaos Space Marines. So I got my codex, I had a troll through it to see what I could come up with, and basically a lot of Chaos Marines. Darryl, read out the list as we've got it
I'll
there.
run through it quickly. We have, this is Andy's Black Legion.
Black Legion, none of this nonsense about Chaos marks for Slanesh or Khorne or anything like that. If you want to expand this list beyond 1,500 points, then by all means stick in whatever marks and stuff you want.
Is it Black Legion because you can spray them all black and just do tiny
'cause
little bits?
If you're starting out,
Great for starter army, guys.
dead easy, dead easy.
First of all, we have Black Legion Chaos Lord. He's got Combi Plasma, Melta Bombs, Sigil of Corruption. That's your 4-up and Vaughn save. Terminator armor. We've then got
and a power axe.
and a power. Oh yes, Terminator armor, and he swaps his sword for power axe.
Yeah, what's many points? Is he 240,
No,
142?
142. So he's nice and cheap. He's nice and cheap. We go on then to 10 Chaos Terminators, 10 Combi Plasmas. They've all got power axes. An Icon of Vengeance.
Yeah.
That's a big, huge.
You'll hear a lot of Icon of Vengeance across the board here.
Delete unit.
Make it fearless.
Yeah. Then we move on to 20 Chaos Marines. They've all swapped out their bolter for free close combat weapon.
Yeah, so both pistol close combat weapon.
Icon of Vengeance in there as well. Your aspiring champion has power axe, power sword.
Yes, and melt the bombs.
And a melta bomb, because you need the melta bombs, guys, across the board. Then we get down to a little unit of 10 who all keep their bolt guns. Your aspiring champion has axe and sword again, and a melta bomb, the usual business. Then we've got a squad of 15 that's very similar to the squad of 20. Your champion has got axe and sword and melta bombs. And these guys don't have their bolt gun, they all have their free chain sword, free close combat
pistol, close combat weapon. But let's face it, it's a chain sword.
Right, after we get past everything that's just a Chaos Marine, pretty much.
Basically.
We have our Aegis defense line. We're a huge fan of these with your quad gun.
Don't leave home without it.
Never leave home without it. Go on to Ramshackle and get your quad gun, because I have one. And then finally we have the Forge Fiend with the 2 Hades auto cannons. They're the Strength 8, AP 4 pinning auto cannons that fire 4 shots each. It's 8 shots. This dude is 175 points.
Yeah, he's just bog standard. He's not even upgraded. If I could find another 20 points, you can get that ectoplasma cannon as well. But
the Hades auto cannons are good. This is 1,449 points.
1,499.
1,499. Sorry, I'm.
One point out. So
1 point out. Is there no way you could spend a point?
Not unless you can upgrade one guy to be a veteran of the long war.
Well,
one champion to be a veteran of the long war. The one guy you want to fight all the Space Marines.
The champion by himself. Yeah, I suppose. So if we start off, where's your Lord going in his Terminator armor?
He's going in with the other Terminators. That's a deep striking unit, guys. That's what they're going to do.
At this point, you've got 11 guys with combi plasmas, deep striking, landing beside some unit that's
as close as we can get, preferably within 12 for a bit of rapid fire. So.
Is this to kill the 5 scouts that are holding the objective?
Quite probably. No, it's to wipe out any other Terminators that are about.
Yeah.
We've seen this even doing horrible things to Storm Shield Terminators. It's based on your Space Wolf Terminators.
I have a very similar unit to this. They've all got axes in. They're all going to be Initiative 1. Because you haven't put any marks in here, if you wanted to go theme, I would possibly, because they're going to be Initiative 1, give them a mark of Nurgle to make them Toughness 5. Yeah, possibly, but
the only ones, put it this way, you don't give them a mark of Slanesh anyway. There's no point, because a +1 initiative is going to do nothing for them.
For axes, no.
So you could argue you could get 5 toughness, or you could go for a +1 on their invulnerable with a mark of Zench. Khorne as well will make them a lot more fighty, because they'll get rage. If they get that charge, they'll get rage and counterattack. But
well, the counterattack rage might stack.
Yeah. So
they are a big, what I call a delete unit. You go, what's dangerous on the other person's side of the board? I'll deep strike beside that, and I'll rapid fire. And because you can be so much more aggressive these days with your deep strike, you don't have to worry so much.
The idea is that those combi plasmas will take out hopefully the big fighting unit.
Yeah.
That, your opponent's big Death Star unit, you just land and go plasma, 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 plasma.
All over the board.
Eat them up, and then you've got a unit of 10 Terminators plus the Chaos Lord, all standing there with power axes, ready to go and chop up anything else that's standing there.
And guys, you don't have to fire all your combat plasmas. If you come up against a unit that's not particularly fierce, you can go, I'll fire 5 or 6 of them, and I'll keep a few back for later on, because sometimes 11, 22 AP2 shots is a bit of overkill, but we love our overkill.
Overkill's the way to do it.
If we go on then, these guys will be turning up later on in the game. So at the start of the game, on the board, you're going to have your Chaos Marines, your 20, your 15, and your 10. What are these guys' jobs to do?
The 20 guys, let's face it, they're a bit like sort of assault Marines, except they've no jump packs. But they're going to
chain sword.
So they're advancing up the field. The 15, now what I would probably do is make sure that the 15 go first. So the 15 guys go first, the 20 guys go behind, and then your opponent has to choose, do I shoot 15 or do I shoot 20 at a time? You know, trying to thin them out that way, because either way, all that's going to happen is somebody's going to get there first. It's either you're going to have to kill those 15, in which case you get a blob of 20 guys to fight, or you start whittling down the 20, and chances are you might not get all of them in time, and there's still a blob of 15 guys there. It's basically for rushing your opponent's objectives.
Move, run,
move, run.
This is why you don't need your boulders in these units, because we looked at this and we chatted about paying the extra 2 points to keep all 3 weapons. But really, if they're going to be fighting most of the time, boulders are almost irrelevant at that point. You know, this works, guys. See blobs of 15. I play blobs of 15. It works. 20 will work even better, because they really neuter this unit. You need to be knocking it down to 6, 5-ish models to really take the threat away from these units. And killing 20 Marines is not easy, because you form that big conga line where them large blasts, even them Lehman Russ tanks, hit at best 3 Marines.
And remember, every one of these units has the Icon of Vengeance as well, so they're all fearless.
Yeah.
But make sure you hide that guy with the Icon of Vengeance somewhere in the middle.
Don't let him get sniped.
Yeah, whatever you do, try not to let him get sniped.
As soon as I realised it's not a unit upgrade, it's a single guy upgrade, I was like, when can I jaws him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So these are your 2 fighter units. Your blob of 10 guys, or your squad of 10 guys, then that have their boulders.
Yeah, the guys with boulders left basically are for holding your own objective, just so that they have a bit more shooting where they can, because they're not going to go anywhere, so they might as well have some sort of range where they can shoot the guys back again. Now, saying that, I mean, one of the things you can do, because they're Chaos Marines, if you're expanding this out, maybe going to 1850 to sort of tournament sized, you can buy those guys another close combat weapon, and suddenly they're a lot more fighty as well. And that's one of the first things I would probably think about doing. For a unit of 10 guys, I think it's 20 points.
Yeah, it's 2 points. It's 2 points a man to keep your boulder and still get close combat weapon.
So, and one of the guys has a heavy boulder there as well, just for a bit more shooting. You could, of course, upgrade that to something a bit more punchy, like a las cannon or something like that, if you wanted.
The one upgrade that I would like the squad to be able to take would have been a plasma cannon.
Yeah,
they stop Terminators deep strike and land beside you. A plasma cannon's great, it is, but they can take the plasma cannon. They can take a missile launcher, but they cannot get the flak missile.
Yeah.
You know, if
your ordinary unit can't, it's Havocs you need to take for Skyfire missiles.
If they could have took the flak missile, they would have been a reasonably good unit to sit in objective. We have our Aegis defense line with our quad gun, which is just
probably with that unit of 10 guys standing behind it, with their aspiring champion operating the quad gun, because he's only got a bolt pistol.
The only downside to this is you're going to have to keep that 10 guys back to operate the quad gun. You can't walk off and leave the quad gun.
Well, I mean, in most of the cases though, with objectives, you're probably going to get at least one on your side of the board.
It's only for the missions that don't have objectives that you possibly would want to move these guys, because you don't have anybody spare. They operate this thing, and see it there. If you walk off and leave it, I will get somebody up there and start shooting you in the back with your own quad gun.
Well, sorry, we don't have any flyers to worry about that.
Guys, vehicles can operate quad guns. It's great. A Rhino drives up, parks beside it.
Well, then the Forge Fiend can operate.
But then it wouldn't be able to fire his own gun.
His own Hades guns.
Finally, we have the Forge Fiend with a pair of Hades auto cannons. I'm a fan of the Hades autocannon, but I'm not a fan of the Forge Fiend's BS3.
Yeah, it's BS3.
But
so you're probably going to get, what, four hits off it?
On
Strength
average.
8, though.
Yeah, 4 strength 8 pinning hits. You know, you're going to be wounding regular Marines or pretty much everybody on a 2. It's handy. It'll put it out, but if it was only BS4, it would be, for me, 175 points then would be cheap almost.
Yeah, well,
it would.
Albeit the alternative, of course, to the Forge Fiend is to spend that 175 on Havocs.
Yeah.
And give them something. You can probably get las cannons and stuff, but
you get las cannons for that price. You get missile launchers with a couple of wound guys for that price. But at that stage, you're only getting 4 guys, so you're only definitely getting 4 shots. This is pretty much, while it lives, is guaranteeing you sort of 4 hits a turn. If you're lucky like me, it's 6 hits a turn.
Well,
you know,
at 1,500 points, I've always found that you're much more likely to come across a Land Raider at that sort of low points cost than you are at bigger. In bigger size games, there's a lot more that can normally deal with a Land Raider, whereas in smaller points games, you're struggling normally to get something that has multiple las cannons and all the rest of it. The Hades autocannon can take hull points off it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's never going to...
There's that one turn it can re-roll.
It can re-roll for one turn, yeah.
Dice.
But everybody else has melter bombs, so I mean, you can, of course, take run suicide melter bomb charges.
It's why these squads these days don't really need melter guns any longer. It's why my squads in my army all have flamers, and then you have characters with melter bombs because they stick on so much easier now. But guys, that's our 1,500 points. It's an on-foot slogan. You'll notice our distinct lack of anything on tracks.
Yeah.
Because our rating of vehicles in general across the 40k universe it's
gone down dramatically.
Is gone down. The only thing you could possibly look, instead of the Forge Fiend, you could get a couple of Predators, just the hose type, heavy bolter sponsons, autocannons on top. That I like, but they're more an anti-infantry vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, the big problem I can see with this is somebody turning up with your 1,500 point game and buying 2 Land Raiders.
Yeah.
And sticking everybody in it. You know, at that point, you are basically
2 Redeemers are going to give you lots of issues.
Lots of trouble.
But the thing is, guys, your odds of seeing 2 Redeemers is going to be slim. The guy runs up to you in flamers, you straight away get in with them melting bombs, start sticking them on him. And see it there, the amount of times that Land Raiders just die to the 1 melt a hit. Because as soon as that melter bomb gets through, it's got +2 in that chart, so anything from a 4 upwards is death to that vehicle. Even a 3, you get +2, you're on a 5. All of a sudden, if it's a Redeemer, you just walk away from it and go, yeah, you can't do anything to me now. You know, but this is our starter army, guys.
Yeah, that's it. And like I say, I just took Black Legion so that if anybody wanted to try that sort of thing out, you can upgrade to all the different types of Khorne Berserker, Khorne Marines and Slaanesh Marines if you want. If you're going to put in multiple guys, what you really should do is make sure that your Chaos Lord doesn't have a mark.
So he can join all the squads.
Yeah, that way he doesn't have to worry about not being able to join a particular squad because he doesn't have the same mark as them. And to tell you the truth, the Chaos Lord is pretty good. He doesn't really need a mark. He's better obviously with a mark, but he can get away without it too.
You're pretty much then sticking with an army with all the same mark, because there's always that situation where your Lord has to join some crappy little unit. Yeah. And if you've went, I'll give them troops Nurgle, but I'll go Slaanesh. And you're going, I have to join that unit now for some reason or other.
Well, that's and he is your warlord, so he's going to give away that secondary objective at some point if he gets killed. So.
Yeah, I have seen in my games my Logan Grimnar running into units of Longfangs to join them. They form a circle around him so that he survives for warlord. You know, but guys, it's up to yourselves. Tell us what you think of this. How would you change this? Should we have more vehicles?
Should we have more chaos cultists?
Should we have more cultists? Stick them
horrendous cultists.
Stick them comments in below, and we'll see you in the next one.